Hello, everyone. I'm Bill Hammond, and I actually paid to see this. The annual Oscar Blitz keeps on rolling along over on my blog, actuallypaid.com. Go there as soon as you finish watching this. And today we're going to be focusing on one of the major categories, Best Supporting Actress. There are five extremely talented performers up for the award this year, and I'd say, honestly, four of them actually deserve their nomination. One of them did not. Think you know which one it is? Let's find out. Jessie Buckley in The Lost Daughter.
Your name, Leda, it's very provocative.
You thinking about the Yates? I bet you know it by heart. In Italian.
Tutto di colpo. La grande ave, palpitante, sulla ragazza, staggering girl.
Sconcertante.
Sì, ragazza, squarcitante.
In The Lost Daughter, Jessie Buckley plays the younger version of the main character Leda, while Olivia Colman plays her in middle age. Not only are the pair compelling as two sides of the same coin, but it largely falls to Buckley to do the heavier lifting in the past to inform the actions of Colman in the film's present. Being a mother to two daughters, a toddler and an infant, is an incredible strain on her marriage and professional life, hence why she's eventually driven to her affair with Peter Sarsgaard, director Maggie Gyllenhaal's real-life husband. It's a very rare depiction of motherhood from the perspective of someone who obviously loves her kids but hates being a parent, and Buckley plays it masterfully. The younger version of Leda is more assertive, daring, and engaged than her older and wiser counterpart, mostly because Coleman's version of Leda has learned to pick her battles and only takes matters into her own hands when needed, and even then it's mostly silently. Buckley's version, however, is more brash and demanding of life. She's still an idealist who doesn't know how much parenthood is going to jade her, and the nuance she displays is absolutely fantastic. I've been a fan of Buckley's for a while, and I'm so glad that she's got her recognition here. She's finally getting her due. Let's see if she can actually get the award. Ariana DeBose in West Side Story. Now, you may be wondering why I chose a clip from West Side Story that's just part of a dialogue-free dance number. Well, there are two reasons. One, it was the only clip I could find that focused on DeBose. Two, and much more importantly, and I'm sure I'm in a minority on this one, her performance did absolutely nothing for me. There's nothing especially wrong with it, but she makes no impression on me whatsoever. She sings and she dances just fine, though that ass shot is a little bit much, but that's part of an entirely different issue with the directing. But there's nothing in her dramatic performance that leaves any kind of real mark. She's just Bernardo's girl. She has a happy-go-life until he dies, and then she's understandably upset. And then in a moment of tragic anger, she sets the events in motion, becoming the catalyst for Tony's death. Now, while DeBose is known for doing this show on Broadway, I'm sorry, it just didn't translate to the big screen, at least not in any kind of compelling way. And there's one major reason for this. Rita Moreno is right fucking there. Rita Moreno, who already won an Oscar for this very role, is an ever-present reminder that this is an imitation, not an original performance. There are no new notes to hit here. More importantly, in her handful of scenes, including the one at the end that she partially shares with Ariana DeBose, Rita Moreno acts circles around the entire goddamn cast. There were only two good performances in this entire film, Mike Face being the other, and it's criminal he wasn't nominated for supporting actor. Neither one of them got recognized here. Ariana DeBose just feels like kind of a token nomination, though apparently she's the frontrunner. I don't get it. Judi Dench in Belfast.
You love your films, don't you? I was a great one for the pictures when I was your age. I used to think you could climb right inside the screen and visit all those strange places you saw. Like that one in that film, what was that? Lost Horizons. Did you ever see that?
No. What was the name of the place, Granny?
Shangri-La. That's what they called it.
Did you ever go there?
There were no roads to Shangri-La from our part of Belfast.
Just like with Ciarán Hinds, Judi Dench's purpose here is to provide moral and emotional support for Buddy in the absence of his parents. His mother being too stressed to really give him all that much attention, and his father being away in England for work for most of the film. It's her job to give him comfort and a somewhat sanitized understanding of life in and around the Troubles. Whereas Pop is a bit more playful and fun, Granny is more pragmatic, but both complement each other in serving this combined need. It also helps that her banter with Hinds is just that special kind of loving shit talk that I think all of us hope to have with a significant other when we get that old. It's just filled with so much affection that you can't help but be enchanted. She's an absolute delight throughout, and the way her eyes light up while she's watching Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is a moment of pure joy. Absolutely love it. Kirsten Dunst in The Power of the Dog.
When I was little, I felt a chill in my spine when I heard the chalk squeak on a blackboard. Oh, Mrs. Merchant, that's who it was. She drew chalk stars by our names on the blackboard. I wonder why it was stars she gave us. Why not diamonds? Why not hearts? Why not spades? Why? I wonder why it was always stars.
Because stars are supposed to be unreachable.
Yes, but they weren't unreachable because she gave them to us.
This is probably the most involved performance on the list because Kirsten Dunst has to have the biggest transition of her character over the course of The Power of the Dog. At first, she's just a cook and an innkeeper, generally nice and tolerant of her rowdier clientele, and overly protective of her son, Peter. But when she becomes involved with George Burbank, she gets the ultimate double-edged sword that's possible in this kind of a movie. At first, she's overjoyed at having a stable father figure for Peter and a romantic love interest of her own for the first time in years. But then things immediately take a turn and go sour as George's brother Phil suspects her of being a gold digger and makes it his mission to mentally destroy her, levying wave after wave of subtle torment that slowly eats away at her until she becomes despondent, paranoid, and alcoholic. All she wanted was a chance at a better life for herself and her child, one that carried the bonus of a man who truly loves her and is dedicated to treating her right. But the collateral baggage that Phil represents is just too much for her to handle, and her slow descent into madness is something tragic yet gorgeous, straight out of something Tennessee Williams might do. This is truly the best performance of Kirsten Dunst's career. It's not even close. Ingenue Ellis in King Richard.
Hey, Betty.
Oracene?
I've never been over here before.
You haven't.
That's a shame.
It is.
I know you know how hard it is raising a daughter. I have 5 of them. 5. Don't make me come back over here again.
It is no small feat to upstage Will Smith, especially in a movie that appears largely designed to showcase him for an Oscar. But somehow, Ingenue Ellis not only pulls it off, but she makes a compelling case of her own for some hardware. It is very impressive. As Brandy Price, Ellis makes sure that this is not a one-man show, nor is it all about Venus and Serena Williams in those rare moments when the focus is away from their father. She demands an equal partnership in Richard's grandiose plan, and while she's willing to bite her lip in some instances, she will not remain silent when she believes any of her daughters are at risk, be it due to Richard's behavior or some other outside influence. She commands respect at all times and will suffer no bullshit. When she locks her eyes on you, you know you done fucked up. She doesn't have to dress you down in some melodramatic way. She can simply state plain truths, raise and lower her voice at her own whim, and still make sure the message gets 100% across with minimal words. That takes a lot of skill, and I applaud her. Okay, so those are our nominees. You clearly now know which one I think is the one of these things is not like the others one. But let's see how they stack up overall. In first place, my vote goes to Jessie Buckley, followed by Anjanou Ellis, Kirsten Dunst, and Judi Dench. And in a very, very distant fifth place, Ariana DeBose. So there you have it. If the Academy ever deigned to give me a vote, that's how it would go. I hope you enjoyed this analysis, and don't forget to tune back in next week where we'll break down another major category. And as always, keep it locked on the blog, actuallypaid.com, for analysis and breakdowns of all 23 Oscar categories, even the ones that the Academy somehow thinks aren't good enough to be part of the live broadcast. Shaking my damn head. Until next time, I'm Bill Hammond. I actually paid to see this.